Let me say something very clearly before we go any further. If emotional manipulation has ever worked on you, that does not mean you're weak. It means you're human. It means you care. It means you feel deeply. It means you reflect instead of react. And that's exactly why this topic matters. Because emotional manipulation does not target people who lack intelligence. It targets people who have emotional depth. So if you're here wondering, why didn't I see it? How did I miss the signs? Why did this affect me so deeply? I want you to pause right now. Nothing is wrong with you. What you experienced was psychological pressure applied to your empathy. And once you understand that, the shame begins to loosen. Most people think manipulation is obvious. They imagine someone controlling, aggressive, dominating. Someone who wants power. But emotional manipulation doesn't come in shouting. It comes in concern. It comes in hurt feelings. It comes in disappointment. It comes in silence. And the reason good people don't recognize it is because they are not scanning for danger, they are scanning for connection. Good people assume, if someone is upset, something must be wrong. If there's tension, it should be resolved. If someone is hurt, I should care. Manipulation hides inside those assumptions. It doesn't force you. It invites you to betray yourself in the name of kindness. Let's talk about what I mean by good people. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about people who reflect on their behavior, care about impact, want fairness, feel responsible for emotional harmony. These people ask, was I unclear? Did I hurt them without realizing? Should I explain better? And manipulators depend on that question. Because once you turn inward instead of outward, the balance of power quietly shifts. You stop evaluating behavior. You start evaluating yourself. That's the opening. Empathy is not the problem. Unprotected empathy is. When someone is distressed, your nervous system responds. Your body feels urgency. You want to restore peace. And manipulators don't need to argue with you, they just need to stay emotionally unsettled long enough. Because eventually, you'll move. You'll explain. You'll soften. You'll adjust. Not because you're wrong, but because you're wired for connection. And slowly, without realizing it, your emotional energy starts flowing one way. Before we go further, I want you to notice something. As you've been listening so far, there may be a quiet feeling in your body. A tightening. A familiarity. A recognition that isn't just intellectual. That's important. Because emotional manipulation doesn't live primarily in the mind. It lives in the nervous system. And until you understand that, you'll keep asking the wrong question. The wrong question is, why didn't I think more clearly? The right question is, what was happening inside my body that made clarity impossible? Most people believe decision-making is rational. It's not. Decision-making is state-based. When your nervous system is calm, you evaluate options. When it's activated, you seek relief. Manipulation works by keeping you activated. Not through chaos, but through emotional ambiguity. Hot and cold. Closeness, then withdrawal. Affection, then disappointment. Warmth, then silence. Your system doesn't interpret this as danger. It interprets it as, something is unresolved. And unresolved emotional signals trigger the same internal response as threat. Your body wants resolution. Not truth. Not fairness. Resolution. That's the leverage. Now let's talk about guilt, because this is where good people get trapped. Guilt is not inherently bad. Healthy guilt helps us correct mistakes. But emotional manipulators weaponize guilt by disconnecting it from reality. They don't say, you did something wrong. They imply, if you cared, I wouldn't feel like this. Notice the difference. There's no specific behavior to address. No clear action to repair. Just an emotional atmosphere you're now responsible for. So you start searching. You replay conversations. You adjust tone. You explain intentions. You give more access. And each time you do, the loop tightens. Because the relief you feel when they soften, that relief conditions you. Your body learns, when I accommodate, tension decreases. That's not love. That's conditioning. Here's something most people miss. Confusion isn't accidental. It's functional. If you're confused, you hesitate. If you hesitate, you self-question. If you self-question, you delay boundaries. Manipulative dynamics are rarely consistent. Consistency would give you data. Data would give you clarity. Clarity would give you choice. So instead, you get mixed signals. One moment you feel valued. Next moment you feel dismissed. When you react, You're told you're overthinking. When you pull back, you're told you're changing. That keeps you off balance. And when you're off balance, you look inward instead of outward. This part is crucial, so listen carefully. Many people know they're being manipulated. They've watched videos. They've read posts. They can name the tactics. And yet, they're still emotionally stuck. Why? Because insight doesn't regulate the nervous system. You can understand manipulation and still feel a pull toward the person causing it. That pull isn't stupidity. It's attachment under stress. Your body is trying to restore emotional equilibrium, even if the source of disturbance is the same person offering temporary relief. That's the paradox. And until the nervous system feels safe without engagement, the mind keeps losing. Before we go further, I want you to notice how you're feeling right now. Are you tense? Curious? Maybe a little defensive? That's exactly why this section is important. Because emotional manipulation doesn't just make you do things. It reshapes who you think you are, and you often don't even realize it. Let me be very clear. Manipulation doesn't hit your mind first. It hits your sense of self. At first, it's small things. Maybe I am overreacting. I should be more patient. I just need to explain better. These thoughts seem reasonable. They seem like self-improvement. They feel responsible. But slowly, without noticing, you start asking yourself, am I too sensitive? Do I care too much? Am I the problem? And the person manipulating you rarely needs to say anything overtly hurtful. Because your own mind becomes the battlefield. Here's what happens next. Good people internalize blame. Instead of asking, why is this happening? They ask, why am I like this? Your empathy, patience, and care, once your greatest strengths, are now questioned by you. You start self-monitoring constantly. Am I too emotional? Am I too quiet? Did I offend unintentionally? And even when nothing is wrong, the internalized critic keeps you in check. This is why emotional manipulation is so devastating for people who are conscientious and empathetic. I want you to picture this loop. 1. You feel confused. 2. You self-reflect excessively. 3. You apologize for perceived mistakes. 4. You accommodate or adjust. 5. You feel temporary relief. 6. The manipulation continues. Step after step, your original sense of self gets stretched thin. And here's the insidious part. You may still function perfectly in work, social life, or family. But inside, you're questioning your worth, your judgment, your feelings. Even strong, grounded people can fall into this. Many people think, I'm strong, I can't be manipulated. But emotional manipulation doesn't attack strength. It bypasses it. Logical reasoning? Bypassed by guilt. Courage? Bypassed by fear of conflict. Confidence? Bypassed by confusion. The stronger you are, the more the manipulator relies on subtle emotional leverage. Small disappointment. Silent withdrawal. Conditional approval. You should know better looks. This isn't your fault. It's a psychological strategy designed to work on good people, not weak ones. This part can feel heavy. You might feel shock, anger, validation, sadness. All of it is okay. All of it is proof that your nervous system and mind are processing truth. You're seeing patterns clearly. And once you see them, you can stop unknowingly complying. Now that we've explored how emotional manipulation works, why good people fall for it, and how it erodes identity, it's time to focus on what comes next. Because awareness is only the beginning. True freedom comes when you take your power back without losing your empathy. You can care deeply, love generously, and still protect yourself from manipulation. Let's start with empathy, your superpower. Empathy itself is not the problem. The problem comes when it is unprotected. Most good people think they have to respond immediately. They feel guilty if they pause. They explain themselves repeatedly. They apologize for things they didn't do. Here's the truth. You don't have to respond immediately. You don't have to explain yourself endlessly. You don't have to manage someone else's emotions. Your empathy works when it is paired with boundaries. Think of empathy like the river. Without banks, it floods everything. With banks, it nourishes life without destroying the landscape. So your job now is to learn how to flow without losing yourself. Boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are clarity. A boundary says, this is what I can give. This is what I cannot. Notice something important: setting a boundary does not make you mean. It does not make you selfish. It does not make you weak. It makes you human, which is the exact antidote to manipulation. Examples of clear boundaries: pausing before responding to emotional pressure, saying no without over-explaining, limiting exposure to draining interactions, choosing when and how to engage in emotionally charged conversations. Each time you enforce a boundary, you train your nervous system. You stop the habitual loop of guilt, doubt, and over-accommodation. Now we move from understanding to doing. Ask yourself, where in my life am I explaining too much? Where am I taking responsibility for feelings that aren't mine? Where do I feel drained after a conversation? When you answer these questions honestly, you begin reclaiming control. And here's a subtle truth: the more you enforce your boundaries, the more manipulators resist. That resistance is proof that the pattern is ending. It's uncomfortable at first, because manipulation thrives on discomfort. But each step you take reinforces your identity. Each refusal strengthens your nervous system. Each pause trains your empathy to work without being exploited. I want to close by saying this very clearly. You were not weak. You were not naive. You were human, empathetic, conscientious, and kind. Those qualities made you vulnerable, yes. But they also make you capable of awareness, clarity, and strength. The moment you understand the mechanics of manipulation, the moment you reclaim your boundaries, you become unshakable. Your empathy becomes powerful, not draining. Your care becomes deliberate, not compulsory. Your peace becomes non-negotiable, not conditional on someone else's whims. If this video has given you clarity, validation, or the first real insight into your experiences, I want you to do one thing. Subscribe to this channel. We will continue exploring topics that help you see clearly, feel validated, and regain your power. And if you want a deeper understanding of emotional manipulation, check out the full 10 Forms Masterclass. It is linked in the pinned comment. Remember, you are not broken. You are becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of freedom.